Guess what we got today, boys? We got Chick-fil-A. Their nuggets are absolutely fire. My mom gave me a $10 gift card, so I got like the 8-piece Chick-fil-A nugget meal, you know. Root beer. This is root beer. I like just got home though because it's kind of late, but because my brother had like a basketball game and shit. But these are pretty fire. The waffle fries, of course, 100% fantastic. Highly recommend. Am I the only one that does like the whole like you dip it? So you dip it in the Chick-fil-A sauce, but then afterwards you dip it in the barbecue sauce. Like, is that just me, or do people like do they like double dip into like different dips? You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm kind of curious about that myself, you know, because I like to double dip. Pause. That's just me. I know I said last time with the Menchie's that I wasn't trying to plug Menchie's, but like Chick-fil-A, if you ever wanted to plug me, I will 100% back you up. Your food is spectacular. I'll even do a review if you want. Up to you. Highly recommend that you use the Chick-fil-A and the barbecue sauce at the same time when you're double dipping. It gets like an extra burst of flavor, you know what I mean? I've been meaning to do this review for a little while now, but got so caught up in the Oscars, and then there was a bunch of other music that came out that I feel like I should have gotten now, like the Joji song. And there was an Avenged Sevenfold album. There was a Stone Temple Pilots album. There was just a ton of stuff. On top of that, we've got the new Tame Impala album coming out on Thursday, which I'm super psyched about. And then I'm also seeing the Sonic the Hedgehog movie on Thursday with some friends, so I may or may not do a review for that. We'll see, but I'm definitely gonna toss some memes in that one. I'm gonna get on with it because I got homework to do. So here's my review on the new Brent Faiyaz album. Oh, this is so good. Fuck the World. Brent Faiyaz is a R&B singer slash songwriter from Virginia, but he got his start really putting out music and demos and whatnot on SoundCloud, and eventually even posting on Spotify and Apple Music. He first released a sort of EP style project back in 2016 called AM Paradox. Along with that, in 2017, he also released his first LP called Saunderson. The way that AM Paradox sounds, it sounds very atmospheric. In my opinion, it kind of sounds like if Travis Scott had like an R&B solo album. I feel like that's kind of what it would sound like, but obviously Brent Faiyaz has like a much better voice. He has such an interesting tone to his voice. It's very high pitched, but it's also very, it's got a lot of range to it. It sounds really pretty, and he has a lot of interesting lyrics and production. A lot of his songs sound like very classic R&B, but with a little bit of an atmospheric Daniel Caesar-esque twist to it. And I think Saunderson really reminds me a lot of Daniel Caesar's Praise Break. It just kind of has like a similar atmospheric texture to it, and a lot of the sampling and a lot of the production really sounds really similar to really early Daniel Caesar. Maybe even a little bit of like earlier Travis Scott too. But then we got Fuck the World. And this is a very interesting LP. It feels like Brent is finally has finally hit the main stage. He's been featured on a bunch of people's other projects, anybody from Gold Link. He's worked with a bunch of different people. The first time I heard him was on the song Crew from Gold Link's album, and I thought his voice was just absolutely incredible, but I saw that he didn't have that much music yet, and I read about him, about how he went on SoundCloud and whatnot, and he's fairly talented. I think he's a really good singer, and I think he's a really good songwriter as well. On Fuck the World, every song sounds very complete and finished and polished. Unlike some of his earlier EPs, everything sounds very stripped down to where it's just him and the instrumental and nothing really much more than that. Specifically on Been Away and Let Me Know, it's basically just like a very early 2000s R&B drum pattern with this very low-key textured bass part, and then just him singing, and he's got these layers to him wrapped over the whole track. And it's really like that for the whole album. You know, there's a lot of reverb to his voice, and there's a lot of audio effects that have been put to his voice, and the way that production sort of layers his voice on top of one another, and then just adds the little ad libs into the background. I think that's super cool, and it gives like a very soft and very warm feeling, very warm tone, and I love that about the album. Who can I love when they tell me I can't love myself? Let me know. Who can I love when they tell me I can't love myself? You can't tell me his voice isn't fucking beautiful, okay? Absolutely incredible, super atmospheric, gorgeous. My favorites on here probably being Been Away, Let Me Know, Clouded. I do like Bluffin' as well, and the single that he released for this album was Rehab, Winter in Paris. I like that track a lot. I just think that compared to a lot of the other songs that I heard from the album, I think it's kind of, I like the other ones better. You know, it's just kind of that. This album sounds incredible. If you're looking for a very toned down, groovy, warm feeling kind of R&B album to listen to, then you should absolutely check this out. I love it. A bunch of the people I know that have heard it love it too. And so I think this will really put Brent Faiyaz on the map, if he hasn't been on the map already. And I think that he is going to be doing a lot more music and hopefully a lot more collabs with some bigger artists in the future. And so I'm really happy with this album. It's only 26 minutes too, only 10 tracks. A lot of the interludes on here, even though they're interludes, they don't feel like they take up a lot of time, or they don't feel like they're too short. Everything feels like it's just right. It's in that Goldilocks zone, if you know what I mean. Overall, I'm really happy with this album, and I highly recommend it. I'm giving this one a 8.5 out of 10, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Go check out Fuck the World. And let me know what you guys' thoughts are and what other albums I should do for the rest of the week. Definitely stay tuned for my Tame Impala album review, which comes out Thursday, and super hyped for that. Been waiting like a good 3 months for that, and since they announced it and since they've been releasing their new singles. Super excited, can't wait. That's pretty much it. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Go check out Fuck the World by Brent Faiyaz. And I'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully later this week.
From me a river, left me stay with him, live with your decision, no. Darling, Lord knows I done gave you all.